Hi everybody, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to my channel. So glad to have you here. I love you all. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, support, all of it. Energy exchange donations. I just so much love and appreciate you doing that. Today's reading is sort of what's going on behind the scenes. What is it that they want you to know, that your love interest wants you to know that they're not sharing? Before I jump into that, quick couple of announcements. The first one is that I'll be in Long Beach at the end of this month, and we'll be hosting a workshop on March 24th. It's Sunday. If you'd like to register for that, please head over to the description box and find the information on how to register below. Second thing, there is a Facebook group that is open. It's called Love Revolution. If you'd like to join us, please head over to the description box as well. That will get you show you the link to the group is in there, and you'll be able to find it that way. And the final thing, I'm doing a live chat tonight. I'll do a live reading and then pull some cards for people that have questions. I'll be using the super chat function, which is a way for you to make a donation to have your question answered. And so if you would like to participate in that, please note that it'll be a little bit different than how I've done lives in the past, but it will give you the opportunity to have questions answered with me live. So yay. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the reading. Spirit, please use me as a clear channel for communication. May the messages that come through be in the highest good of all those concerned. I draw a sacred circle around this space, setting my ego to the outside. I call upon my ancestors, divine love, higher wisdom, to be with me, to guide me, to protect the energy in these messages. And so it is. So this is the Santa Muerte deck. And we're going to just start off with, what is overall energy? What is it? Well, the overall energy of what it is that they want you to know. I'm not reading reversals today. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. The Empress. And the Knight of Swords. Very interesting. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, things are spinning, things are turning, okay? The Wheel of Fortune really is about change. It's about, it's that recognition that things are always circling. Nothing ever stays the same, right? The one thing that we can count on in this life is change. The one thing that we know for sure is going to happen is things are going to change. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. So what they want you to know at the core is that things are shifting. Things are cycling in their life. They are undergoing some transformations. There are some things that are happening in their life. The other thing that they want you to know is that they are feeling your energy. This Empress energy is your energy. It's coming through very clearly. They feel, whether you're a masculine or a feminine, doesn't matter. They feel your divinity, is what Spirit is saying, is that they really feel, and they're tapped into the energy that you bring to their life. So they can feel that. They feel, what Spirit is saying is that they feel more aligned with their own divinity, their own, like, I'm getting like sovereignty and like royalty. They feel that when they're with you. They feel that energy. They feel inspired. That's also, it's okay. Thank you. They feel inspired to be that. You make them want to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And so that's what this Empress card is, that they feel that energy, that pull to their higher selves to be better, to do better. This Knight of Swords, this is about really, action. Knights are always about action. Now, this is really interesting because what I'm seeing here is that this Knight of Swords is about wanting to take action moving forward. They're thinking about it, okay, because swords are thoughts. And it's like wanting to take some action forward. They're thinking about it, but there's also some mental conflict with that. There's also some things that, I really feel like they're thinking like, well, if I were to reach out, if I were to move forward and have this communication or come toward this person and have contact, that there could be conflict that would be caused as a consequence. Doesn't necessarily mean conflict with you, because I'm feeling like it's conflict from an outside source, a different energy, a karmic person, somebody else, something like that. But they are definitely thinking about it. They're thinking that they want to come forward and have a conversation, resolve some things, make some kind of move, maybe even tell you, you make me want to be better. your inspiration in my life has made me want to be a better person, and has called to the higher parts of me that makes me want to be better, but they're afraid of conflict. They're afraid of doing that, and that will cause external conflict with other people and other outside energies. So that may be why they're not doing that. So let me go ahead and move this aside, and we're going to look at what is their intention for this connection right now. Interesting. Wow. Really interesting. I want to look at this one a little bit closer. Yeah. So 5 of Wands, we've got another card of conflict. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing. If you look at this overall, because when I read the tarot, it tells a story. Okay, so this is like a storyboard here. And so what I'm seeing here is that we have conflict, then we have the new beginning, and we have the 2 of Cups. They want to overcome this conflict. They want to defeat whatever it is that's causing conflict in their life, whatever is causing them to feel that conflicting kind of energies. They really want to work through that in order to be able to have this new beginning, to be able to take this leap of faith. They realize that without taking this leap of faith, without taking this energy and moving it forward, going toward resolving the conflict, the inner conflict, because this card is one that's like inner and outer external conflict. And so they're recognizing that as within, so without. So if they're having a lot of conflict internally, it's manifesting in ways externally. So they may have just issues that are happening in their life that are mirroring what's going on internally. And they're recognizing their intention for this connection is to resolve this conflict, take this leap of faith in a new beginning, and come into this 2 of Cups energy, which is spiritual union. That's really truly their intention. Now, we'll look further and see what their actions are likely to be. Like, what action are they likely to take? Because sometimes people's intentions, like, what is that saying? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. That sometimes because somebody has good intentions doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to put those intentions into practice and into manifestation. So let's go ahead and look and see what the action that they might take, or they're likely to take. So what is that action, Spirit? So we have the 3 of Wands, the Magician, and the 2 of Swords. So the 3 of Wands, this is about, really putting your ideas out. This is like sending off the book proposal and hoping that people will receive it. It's putting your ideas out into the world. Okay, so the action that they're likely to take is really about, getting committed to their future plans, like putting their ideas out. So what I'm seeing here is like the action they're likely to take is to really commit to what it is that they want to have happen and start to work toward that goal. The Magician, this is about manifestation. This is about using, your powers of alchemy to shift and transform a situation. So I feel like ultimately they're going to reach a point where they do feel inspired to move forward, to take this action, to commit to what their future and what they want, and to use their powers, manifestation, the power of their word, affirmations, so on and so forth, to start working and creating the life that they want. However, right here we have the 2 of Swords, which is sort of being an impasse. This is like not ready to take any action yet. So on the one hand, like the one leg of the scissors is, I know that I need to cut some things out, do some things differently, move in a new direction. But on the other hand, they're still afraid of loss and conflict and what that might mean. So it's like they have this desire to do this. They have they want to do things differently. They want to manifest something different in their life, but they're not ready to take the steps to do that. And that's what's causing them to feel like they're kind of stuck with their energy. So that's very interesting and unfortunate, because I'd love to see people taking action. I'm an action-oriented person. I'm like, let's do it. Let's move things forward. I would like to see them reach that spot, not point themselves, but it feels like right now they're going to continue to stay stuck, unfortunately. So I want to look at what's going on in their mental space. It's interesting. So we've got the Hierophant, the 6 of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. So there's this really powerful energy that I'm getting of the Hierophant is really about social structures. It's about following what you think you're supposed to do. It's about meeting expectations. This is somebody who is, I don't necessarily like to say the conformist, but it is a bit of a conformist energy that I'm getting. This is an energy of somebody who's really caught up in wanting to follow traditions. Okay, so in their headspace, they're really trying to. I just keep, this message has come through quite a few times in the last last month, that people are doing, the person that you're thinking of is doing what they're doing because they think that's what they're supposed to do. They're trying to uphold values. Whether those values are theirs or not is a whole nother question. And I'm not necessarily seeing that it is their values. It's external values. It's doing what people think that they should do. It's meeting society's expectations, religious expectations, the expectations of others around them. And so in their mental space, they're still trying to strive to that. They're still trying to be what people think they should be. They're still trying to fulfill the obligations and expectations that other people have placed on them. And we have the Six of Wands. They're really trying to overcome this conflict. See, the Six of Wands is victorious over the conflict. What they're thinking about is really they're trying to defeat, okay, so here's what it is. They're trying to defeat the conflict that they're having between what they want and what they're supposed to do. So remember that card that came through earlier, which was, where is it? The Five of Wands, okay? This card is about internal conflict. This card is about overcoming that conflict. So what I'm seeing is that there's this kind of wrestling match happening between them and what they want in their heart, like their heart's desires, which is, pulling them toward this divine love, this sacred union. They want that, but they have these other expectations and obligations that they feel like they need to fulfill. And so what they're thinking about is how to overcome that. It's like they're almost thinking they can power their way through. They can mentally power their way through this situation and overcome it that way. They think that they can reason their way out of this. They're feeling like they can think through a solution, not recognizing that the intellect is not the way that they can get through the situation. They have to get through using spiritual wisdom and listening to their heart. But they're really trying, okay? This Eight of Pentacles is like they're really, really trying. They're really working hard on that. And so if you're feeling like if you haven't had communication or you're feeling like their energy is elsewhere, it's because they really are trying to learn these new skills. They're trying to dedicate themselves into something. They're trying to build this foundation in this world that they're in, the physical reality that's based on meeting obligations of other people's expectations. I hope that's making sense. That's what they're focused on right now, is building something in the material world that is something that they haven't done before. They're really trying, but the thing is that there is still this conflict remaining, okay? It's still, I'm kind of amused right now, and I don't mean that in a mean way, because it's I understand that they must be in a great deal of turmoil, but it's almost like I feel this sense of compassion and also amusement about this person really trying hard to do something that's completely out of alignment with what spirit wants for them and what their heart wants, but they're doing it because they think it's the right thing. So I have a lot of compassion for that, because I understand it's difficult to try to do the right thing. So what's happening in their heart space? So we've got the World, the Three of Wands. Oh wait, what is that? Is that the 3? Sorry, I was we just pulled the 3. That's the Ace of Wands and the Page of Swords. So there's this energy here, the World. This is about, this is really cycles coming to a complete end, things wrapping up, feeling a sense of closure, feeling, and this really is also about feeling positive. It can feel like the world is at your feet. You have all of the world is your playground. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to do? So in their heart space, they're feeling that they're feeling this pull toward going to what it is that they want, to fulfill their dreams, to create their experience in the world, okay? And they feel this Ace of Wands energy, this One of Wands. It's just about inspiration, creativity, passionate new beginnings. Like in their heart, that's what they want. That's what they crave, okay? That's the thing that they most desire. And it's like they understand it. I really feel like they felt in this connection with you that the world was at their feet, that they could have done so many amazing things. They're like, would have been like Oprah and Stedman, you know, having that type of really powerful, like power couple kind of energy with this passionate new beginning where their dreams were aligned and things were working together, and they feel that in their heart. In the Page of Swords here is about, it's a bit of an immature energy. Pages are always a little bit more immature, like they need to grow. You know, there's some learning that needs to happen. They can be impulsive. So this is the energy of somebody who might be taking on things that they're not ready for, and then causing harm inadvertently because they're not ready for it. There's like this energy of being passionate, filled with energy, like wanting to just go for it. Excuse me, but not necessarily having the skill set to be able to manage that energy. So this is like, they could, for some of them, they're trying to build with that Eight of Pentacles energy. They're trying to build a life, a future, but they don't have necessarily the strength of character or the skill set to be able to withstand it just yet. They might actually end up undercutting themselves and causing themselves some harm by not being able to, by not recognizing that there is some growth that needs to happen before they can do anything really significant. So I'm going to get a card from the Les Mermaids deck by Lucy Cavendish, just because I want to get a clarification on this Page of Swords. Like, what is that about with them in their heart space? Because it feels like what I'm feeling is that they're not ready. They have the energy to move forward, and they're probably going to take some steps forward, but they don't yet have the wisdom or maturity yet. And so, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We've got rebellion, upstart, tumult, revolution, and a 33. So here's the thing with this, is that what they're doing, what the action that they want to take, the action that they're likely to take in their heart space, this Page of Swords energy, is a bit of a rebellion. Okay, so it feels like, you know, that conflict that we talked about earlier that came through, that they're in a space where they're trying to do the right thing, they're trying to do things that they think that they're supposed to do, which is contrary to their heart. And so it's creating this type of rebellion energy where they may be doing things that are you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Subversive. Okay, where they might be doing some things in a sneaky kind of way, that because they're not, you know, to fulfill their heart, there's like a rebellion. It's like a kid sneaking a piece of candy, not necessarily because they want it, but because it's a rebellion, because, you know, mom or dad said no. And so that's what I'm feeling with this, and what this energy is that the action that they're taking is likely to you know, to really backfire, or to undercut them, or to cause them some problems in the future, because there's that conflicting energy within. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. Let's go ahead and move this aside and look at what's happening in their physical world right now. So we've got the Queen of Wands. Wow. The Tower. And the King of Swords. Interesting. So the Queen of Wands, this actually feels like, to me, like this is a physical representation. There is some feminine energy, and it doesn't feel like yours. It's somebody else's energy that is in their physical reality. So this can be a mom, it can be a boss, it can be a karmic partner, some other kind of female energy that is exerting a lot of influence in their physical world right now. It could be spiritual, it could be, you know, let me sit with this energy for a second, because there's a couple of things coming through. This is somebody who, in their world, is exerting their influence upon this person, upon your love interest in the physical. It doesn't necessarily have to be manipulative. It could be manipulative, but this is somebody who is who wants to be seen, who wants to be known, and so they could be doing things that are like inserting themselves into their world in a more significant way. Now, this can be somebody who is really, yeah, I just get this really exerting their influence pretty strongly over this other person in their physical world. This could also, for some people, suggest fertility, like pregnancy. So there could be, some of you may have love interests who are in a relationship with somebody who is pregnant or trying to get pregnant. I know that's probably not something that you want to hear, but that's what's coming through. That can be something that they could be that they are using pregnancy as a hook. That feels really gross to me because that is super manipulative, but it could be a possibility for a lot of people. So just keep that in mind. If you have that situation, or if you've recently learned of that, comment and let me know, because I'd be interested if that's something that resonates for those of you. But in the physical world, things are also falling apart. So if there is some sort of feminine person that is exerting their will, it's contributing to this tower moment. The thing is that whenever we do shit that's from like a manipulative stance or trying to control or trying to take somebody's power, it always results in this. It's never going to end well. That's just what it is. It's not going to end well if you're trying to exert your will on somebody else. And so certain things are falling apart. This can be divine intervention. I mean, the tower is divine intervention. In the traditional tarot, it's like lightning striking the tower and causing it to crumble down. And so this is really interesting energy that things are falling apart. It's like no matter what, if it's time for things to shift and time for things to come crumbling down, that's just what has to happen, plain and simple. And so that is what's happening right now, is that there is that energy of things falling apart, things tumbling down in their physical reality. They may be trying really hard to hold it together, but things are falling apart. This is like ideas, belief systems, whatever, are crumbling down. So it's requiring this King of Swords energy that's coming through, which is about, intellect. This is about being, using your mental space. It can also be somebody who is disconnected from their heart space. So this person that you're listening for could be feeling really disconnected from their heart space, which is part of how they're coping with their life circumstances right now, with things falling apart, with things happening in their lives that feel maybe a little bit out of control because of this tower. So they are they could be over intellectualizing things, overthinking things, like I said earlier. I think it came through earlier in the reading that they might be feeling very very just caught in their head, okay? Like I'm seeing just really trying to navigate through thought space without listening to their spirituality so much, or listening to their heart so much, listening to their feelings, but really just trying to navigate situations with simply thinking their way through, like trying to reason their way through heart issues. Like you can't reason your way through love. Like it's just not how it works. That's not how things work. So I want to pull a clarifier about this energy that is around this whole physical space, because I feel like there's a lot happening, and that card just jumped out, so we'll see what it is. Wow, of course, sacrifice. Okay, renunciation, offering, and letting go. So what's happening in their physical reality right now is that they feel like they're making a sacrifice. They have to make a sacrifice. Whatever has gone on with this feminine energy that I'm feeling that's an influence, has made them feel like they need to make some sacrifices. And again, because they're in that Hierophant energy where they're like, I feel like this is what I have to do. This is what I'm expected to do. This is what society thinks I should do. Because they're in that energy, they're making that sacrifice. And so they may have, this is the Hierophant that came through earlier, they may have renounced, this is rejected this sacred love connection because they feel like they have to make that sacrifice to do what they're supposed to do in this world. This is someone who feels very duty bound, who feels very much like they have to do things a certain way, not because of that's what they're expected to do. And so they are sacrificing. For some of them, they have made the choice, at least at this point, to sacrifice this connection with you to try and do what they feel is right for others. You know that, however, I'm going to move these aside, that can't last. Doing something, you know, from a martyr type of energy is not something that is sustainable. So, what is their secret desire? I want to find out what it is that their secret desire is toward you. Let's see what comes through. Oh my gosh, of course it is. That does not surprise me at all. Wow. Wow. Okay. So their secret desire here, seriously, this, you can't make this shit up. The devil card, okay? This to me, what came through like viscerally, like I felt it come through, is this like super highly charged sexual thing. Like you might feel like they've completely like written you off, or maybe you haven't talked for a while, but they are still seriously thinking about you in a very sexual way. They feel that pull towards you. It's like they feel that desire for that sacred sexuality. They want that. They feel that. They know that this sexual potent power between the two of you is like nothing they've ever experienced, and they want to experience it again. If you have not had a sexual connection with your twin flame, that's fine. Not everybody does. But for those of you that have, or they've had that power with your twin, they're feeling it. Their secret desire, part of what they're wrestling with, that inner conflict, is that they still feel that. They still feel that pull towards you. They still feel that that sexual charge. And so secretly, what they're not telling you or not telling anybody else is that they still feel that pull. They still feel very drawn to you in that way, which is what a lot of what is causing them conflict. Their secret desire is to, Nine of Pentacles is being in a situation that might look good on the surface, you know, like it's that family that you know that everything looks great, and then they're suddenly divorced, and you're like, wow, I thought everything was perfect with them, and you find out that it was a facade. What I'm getting here is, if you look at this is a person that's kind of leaving the situation. What I'm seeing here is that they want to leave. Their secret desire is to leave this situation where they're not, where they're not fulfilled, because the Nine of Pentacles is just not being fully fulfilled. The Ten of Pentacles is feeling fulfilled, feeling like you've got it all. Their secret desire is to leave this situation where they don't feel fulfilled, to go toward a situation where they do feel fulfilled, which is about joy, celebration. The Three of Cups is about celebration, joy, victory. That's their secret desire, is to move toward a situation where they feel joy and celebration, instead of a situation where they feel duty bound and obligated. And that's something that's causing a lot of conflict for them, because what they want is at odds with what they think they should do, and that is causing a lot of conflict for them. It's like they really want to move. If they could do it without feeling guilty or feeling bad, they would move away from the situation that they're in, whether it's a job or another relationship, a marriage, whatever. They would move away from that and towards something that feels more joyful and celebratory, but they feel so much guilt doing it. Right, because of this, okay? They're trying to be like this like nobility, idealistic, high standards, honor. They're trying to do this, what they're doing, out of a sense of honor. They feel like if they were to follow their heart and pursue their passion, they would be dishonoring themselves or their family, or being stereotypical to what people expect. They're like, I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to be that kind of guy or that kind of girl. So I'm just going to continue to stay in this situation because it feels that's like the right thing. That's what my standards would tell me to do. That's what honor, that's how I maintain honor. Even though it's like, suffocating their soul, they feel like that's the right thing to do. So, very interesting energy. Let's move this aside. And let's look at what's in their shadow right now. Wow. The moon, intuition. Oh my gosh, the Ten of Pentacles, what I was just talking about. And the Ten of Wands, are you kidding me right now? Wow. So what's in their shadow side right now is this energy of the feminine, okay? The feminine, that's the second time that this has come through. That the energy of the feminine is present in this reading. Feminine, this is like the intuition. So what's in their shadow, what they're hiding, because the shadow is just stuff that we block out, that we don't want to know. They're blocking out this intuition, this pull toward the feminine. I really get that, because the moon, if you think about it, the moon is what causes the tides. You feel like this magnetism toward the moon is a very magnetic energy. So in their shadow space, they're blocking out the magnetism that they feel toward the feminine. They feel that energy very powerfully. They feel like, wanting to move toward that, but they're putting it in their shadow and they're blocking it out. So it's like if they have blocked you on social media or something like that, it's literally because they're trying to resist the pull. They're trying to resist the magnetism that they feel towards you. Because they know that with you, this Ten of Pentacles is possible. They know that it is, that they can have it all. That they can have the amazing spiritual connection, sexual connection, love connection, working together, having this kind of amazing life. They know that it's possible, but they can't allow themselves to know it right now, because it will continue to cause inner conflict, and so, or external conflict, or make them want to do something that feels out of alignment with their values. And so they just kind of grapple with that. They push it into the shadows and try to pretend it doesn't exist. We have the Ten of Wands here, which is also in the shadow, which is their being weighted down and overburdened. They know that this is not sustainable. They know that they cannot continue in this situation as it stands without things eventually falling apart. But they don't want to recognize it, okay? They don't want to acknowledge that, because if they acknowledge this is too much of a burden, it's weighing me down, this current situation that I'm in is not sustainable, it's weighing me down, it's going to keep me from being able to move forward. If they acknowledge that, then they would have to then acknowledge that they're unhappy, and then that leads to, well, if I'm not happy and I haven't been happy for a long time, or this is not the situation that I want to be in, then I have to make decisions that feel out of alignment with who I want to believe myself to be, okay? And that's why they're blocking this all out. That's why they're blocking it and not facing it, because if they were to turn around and face this in their shadow, it would cause them to make decisions that they may not feel comfortable making yet. I hope that's making sense. It's like once the light comes on, once they see things as they truly are, they are going to have to face it and do something about it. They're not ready yet. That's why it's still in the shadow. So what's currently blocking them? The Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. So what's blocking is that they're just not quite ready to move forward to this new beginning in the material world. They're just not ready. It's not a bad thing. It's not, there is no judgment around it, but to move in that direction is something that just scares the shit out of them. They're just not ready to move in that direction. What's blocking him is that they are still trying to defend their territory, okay? The person that you're listening for is still trying to, this is the card, I was thinking because in the traditional tarot, this is a person that's up on a hill and is battling people off. I'll see if I can find it really quickly. And that's what this person is doing, is they're trying to stand their ground. They're still trying to battle off the opposition, trying to maintain their position. And even though they know that it's not necessarily, in a gut level, they know that it's not necessarily, this isn't the hill that they're meant to die on, but they're not ready to surrender yet. Okay. And so that's sort of what is happening with them, is why they're still like, this is the one. So he's like king of, remember the game you used to play as a kid, like King of the Mountain? That's what they're doing right now. Okay, so part of what's blocking it is that they're still trying to fend off all of this other stuff, which to me is symbolic of the it's the conflict, the external expectations of people around them, their own internal conflict around that, and so that's something that's really preventing them. And then the Knight of Cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups is about moving forward toward an offer of love, making an offer of love, extending an offer of love, emotions, and that's what part of what's blocking them is that they don't feel like they can. Okay, they don't really feel like they can do that because of the situation in their life. Okay, they're blocking this Knight of Cups is also a cup of like being touched, or card, sorry, of being in touch with your emotions, being the romantic. This is like being in touch with your intuition, your emotions, being charming, using that ability to attract, completely blocking that energy out right now, because of the conflict that it creates in their world. So they're blocking that. They're blocking their romantic notions, their romantic feelings, the things that they feel wanting, like they want to do. They're not allowing themselves to feel that right now, because again, it creates a sense of conflict and being at odds with what's going on in their external reality. I actually feel a lot of empathy for this person right now, because what they're dealing with is pretty intense. Okay, what they're dealing with right now with the external reality and wanting to, what's happening in their physical world and what they want to have happen in their external world is pretty different. And can you imagine that? Just put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Imagine what it's like to feel like you want to move in one direction, you want to go somewhere, you want to do something different, you're really in love with somebody else, but you're in a situation that you feel obligated to. Like, that is very, very heavy and burdensome. So I feel a lot of empathy for this person, these people, this collective that I'm channeling, because it does feel very, they feel very weighted down. So if this is resonating for you and that's your person, I know that it's easy to get frustrated, but I would encourage you to try to have some empathy for the situation that they're in. So I just want to pull a couple final messages from their higher self to you. There's jealousy. Interesting. Oh, wow. Seduction. I'm going to tell you what this all means. Oh, wow. And the monster within. Okay, very powerful messages from their higher self here. I have goosebumps. So, there's this energy, the jealousy is that you might feel, if they're like in a situation where they're in like a karmic relationship with somebody else, and you feel jealous, you feel like that they're with somebody else or whatever, what they're saying to you right now is like, don't be jealous, because the situation is not what you think it is. You might think that it's all rainbows and butterflies and stuff, but it's not. It's actually very difficult. And so they want you to know that there's almost a sense of jealousy that because they feel bound. They don't feel like they can move out of this situation. They don't feel like they can do anything different. They feel stuck or trapped or something. And so they are saying that they actually envy you, because you have the freedom to do some things different in your life, that you can go on and find somebody else that maybe if they can't, or if they don't come forward with an offer, that you can actually go out and find love with somebody else that you feel very connected with, like a soulmate or something. They feel like where they're stuck there and they can't get out. And so they're like, you might be jealous of this other person, but don't be jealous, because it ain't all cracked up to be. It's not as good as you might think it is. They're in this situation because they're trapped, because they have been seduced or manipulated into being in that situation, being where they're at. This really feels like it's resonant in particular to people in karmic situations, that they may feel like they've been manipulated and they feel trapped. And it's challenging. Look at this. This is the monster within: internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. People that are being channeled right now is really someone who's feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're feeling the struggle. They're feeling they want to do things better. They want to improve. They want to change their lives. They just feel really trapped, and they feel really envious of your ability to stand in your truth and to pursue your passion and your dreams, and to not allow yourself to get caught up and trapped in lower level energy situations. So overall, what's going on behind the scenes is just they're really still struggling, but they want you, okay? If you've been doubting that, the energy is pretty clear. They do want you. They do have a desire to come back towards you and to be in a space with you in a very intimate way. They're just not able to. They feel like they're not able to right now. And so it's this reading, actually gave me, like I said, a lot of empathy for the situation that people are in, and hoping that they can gather the strength to get themselves out. So I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.